Hey everyone, welcome to, I guess you'd call this a political video. This one's about a game, just came out. It's called Ms. Monopoly. It's apparently the female version of Monopoly, or at least that's what I guess Hasbro's trying to do. Now I'm a big board game guy. Me and my brother always have been. I play board games with his family and his kids all the time. But this to me is really insane. Addressing the gender pay gap, this is from USA Today, addressing the gender pay gap comes down to changing the rules of the game. Well, the gender pay cap, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a myth, because there is no gender pay cap anymore. Men are paid, a man who works 8 hours in one job and a woman who works 8 hours in the same kind of job for the same company for the same amount of time they work there, they get comparably the same rate of pay. But if you factor in maternity leaves and women who leave their jobs to then go raise children and not continue their careers, then yes, there's this huge gap. So you can't have it both ways. You can't have a career where you're solely focused on your career and miss a year's worth of work at least, maybe two, and expect or miss less and expect your kid to grow up in the best situation. Because studies prove, there's bonding with the mother, and there's all sorts of physical, psychological, and emotional things that go along with being a mother. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Joan's off camera. She wants to go out. I'll get to her in a minute. So, making this game and paying women more in the game, I mean, just substitute men for women and it would sound incredibly sexist. That's because it is incredibly sexist. Continuing, that's exactly what Ms. Monopoly brings to the table. Hasbro is launching a new version of the iconic board game that celebrates female trailblazers and is first where women make more money and is the first where women make more money than men. Officials shared exclusively with USA Today. The women trailblazers who built their own companies and invented things, they didn't need a handout to do that. That's part of the thing that makes them great, that they competed equally. If you believe men and women can compete equally, then you have to condone this board game for implying that, oh no, women need to be paid more. They need an extra boost in the game, because otherwise you're just not being fair. The new game, which includes several modern updates, including ride shares instead of railroads and Wi-Fi instead of waterworks, goes on sale for $20, basically. Jen Boswinkle, Senior Director of Global Brand Strategy and Marketing for Hasbro Gaming. I wonder if, Jen, did you get a hand up in your job? I mean, I guess you should have, right? Because, I mean, you're a woman, and as in your game, women need a hand up because apparently they're not as capable as men. So I hope you enjoyed your hand up. I mean, obviously you didn't do it yourself, right? You had to have a hand up from Hasbro. The game is designed for today's kids. Yeah, today's woke idiots. And highlights a subject they may not know about yet, because it's not true. With all the things surrounding female empowerment, it felt right to bring this Monopoly in a fresh new way. Boswinkle said, it's giving the topic some relevancy to everyone playing it that everybody gets a turn. Well, sure, but women get better turns. Some people get more, right? And this time, women get an advantage at the start because they're incapable of doing it, competing on their own. Obviously, right? I mean, that's what you're saying to people, essentially. Women are inferior, and therefore you're balancing the game out. So the women have a chance to beat the men. I mean, is that what you're saying? It sounds like that's what you're saying. I would never play this game. I would never purchase this game. I think if you bought this game and you thought, oh, it's just another version of Monopoly, and you didn't realize it was going to be so sexist, I think, you could send a bit of a message by returning the game, even if you opened it. I think you could probably return it if you opened it, if it was like a short time period. I think this is a terrible lesson to teach little girls. It would have been fine to do a Ms. Monopoly that was updated, but where players get an equal start, where players get, the same, and it's just women trailblazers. That would have been great. But to skew the game, I think you're really just being awful. So, shame on you, Hasbro. Shame on you for being sexist. I mean, this is like outright sexism to me. It's on sale at Walmart. So, all the different monopolies you could have done. Why not just do a Ms. Monopoly, with female characters, female companies, female sounding avenues, different color scheme, better color scheme. I don't know. But this, it's so woke. So like hammer over the head woke. I just cannot endorse this in any way. Terrible. Just terrible in my view.